And he's like, I ain't got any bugs. Are you sure you're not a little bit crazy? And I've already heard about the crazy things. I'm like, okay. So I go into the room. I'm like, Jim, where I'm sleeping at, I'm going to super clean this room. He's like, okay. So I go in there and I start cleaning this room and I start peeling back these layers of clothes that he has laid down on the floor. And I mean bugs. I mean bugs, flies, gnats, mosquitoes. I mean, and then of course them little, them little hoppers, them pubic lice. Were hitting me in the face and landing in my scalp as I was picking up clothes. It was gross. And then I noticed every single thing that somebody had left behind, because I deal with a homeless population, I left behind with me, and I said, I'm just going to get rid of it, throw it away. And he'd ask me for it. He'd say, oh, I'll get rid of it, no big deal. I noticed he kept everything. And then what got weirder about it as I was clearing through things, I started noticing things like kids' underwear. I was like, uh-oh. And then I noticed a diaper bag filled with like Similac and diapers and bottles and little kid underwear. And I'm just thinking, yeah, no, I know Jim picks up everything that people leave behind in his cab. He is a taxi driver, and just kind of holds on to everything. But it was just really, really strange to me, Why are you holding on to a lot of stuff that, I encountered, in my travels? And you decided you wanted to keep, from like stuff homeless people were like Jordan and Jacob and, stuff they like left behind. And then the diaper bag with kids' undies and Similac. And then you look at me and you say, when it's in the back of your van, because it was in the back of his van first, oh, you can dig through that bag and take anything you want. I'm thinking to myself, why would I want baby formula out of a diaper bag? That doesn't make sense. And so I take it out of the room, as it ended up in his apartment, along with the bugs and all the other nasty crap that was in there. And I very carefully, by the handle, drag this sucker out, and I drop it along with the kitty underwear and things like that. I say, Jim, you might seriously consider getting rid of this diaper bag along with the kitty underwear and things like that. Now, I know you collect everything that, people leave behind in your taxi, but I'm going to tell you right now, this makes you look like a pedophile. You might consider getting rid of it. And he wouldn't let it go. And then he offered to have me look through the diaper bag again. You can look through the diaper bag and take anything you want, but yet under the same token, he didn't want to let the diaper bag go. And I looked at him and said, Jim, I said, this looks like somebody who's a pedophile as it is, and I want to put my fingerprints all over that? I don't think so. I said, that's perfect for a federal investigation. I said, no, thank you. I said, if you're a smart man, you'll get rid of this stuff. And he sat there and he had to ponder it. I said, look, I'm going to go finish cleaning this room. I mean, it was disgusting. And he was freaking out because I was moving stuff around in that room. And I ended up putting it into the closet. Had a bunch of stuff hauled outside the room. I mean, it was just really gross, dirty, nasty. Right? And in the meantime, old Jim's sitting over there texting. He has to leave his apartment the whole time. He brings back this treatment for me, that has ragweed in it. I'm thinking, interesting. I'm allergic to ragweed. Wonder why he picked the one with ragweed. The treatment for super pubic lice, right? Yeah, like I hadn't gone through enough treatments by this point as it was. I was spraying down his apartment with bleach, with baking soda and water all mixed together. I was desperate with a little bit of that lice shampoo mixed in, hoping and praying that whatever was biting me would stop biting me. Oh my gosh, it was horrible, right? Desperate. And I even offered to help him clean the place up. And he's freaking out, don't move this and don't move that, and things like that. I'm thinking, oh, boy. Anyway. So he comes back with this medicated shampoo with ragweed in it. Thinking, interesting. I'm allergic to ragweed. I'm desperate, so I'm going to use it anyway. So I go ahead and I start using it. And still, the itch does not go away. I got stuff running around in places that it shouldn't be running around in, and it was really quite disturbing. Yeah, when you got little critters run across the bottom of your feet. Yeah, you catch my drift. It makes you real uncomfortable, right? Yeah, there were that many critters. They were actually running through my socks at the bottom of my feet, so you can imagine the other places they were running to, right? Anyhow, I just couldn't take it. And the guy's freaking out about me picking up around his apartment. I'm trying to reach out, according to the I Ching, and blah, 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 his Eastern thought bit, and it ain't working with him. And I'm like, oh man, I have tried to work with you where you're at. Right? And so he's sitting here talking to me. And he gets this quirky little smile on his face. Because like I said, he'd been disappearing, text messaging, which is weird for this old man. And he rolls up in his wheelchair because he likes to ride in his wheelchair when he's in his little apartment. He rolls up in his wheelchair. He goes, the question is, he goes, do you take it up the ass? I'm like, here we go again. Another setup. I said, why no? I'm an exit-only girl. Yeah, his whole behavior was completely off. So, he said, no, I know. I'm an exit-only girl. He goes, how would you feel if I told you you've just been proven crazy? I said, oh, really? Huh? I said, hold on, gotta call the police, right? So anyway, I called the police. He's sitting there with them steely blue eyes thinking, he has me. Police come in, right? It's amazing to me how fast they showed up, too. They showed up pretty quick. Police come in, and, I'm talking about bugs, and I'm chewing the old man out, Jim Donovan, about the fact that I tried working with him on his level, and how he was freaky-deaky, and his apartment was nasty, and how anybody with common sense would know he had bugs, because the cops, this is the thing, the game, the invisible bugs. Are you sure it's bugs? Because we don't see any bugs. Do you have any mental health problems, ma'am? Yeah, this is a common question, right? I'm like, why no? And then I start chewing Jim Donovan out again about the fact that he's an old man and he's dirty and nasty, and I was trying to help him clean up his stuff and things like that. And I said the bug infestation in this apartment is so bad they're even biting my eyes. And wouldn't you know it, the cops look at me and go, are you sure that's just not a ragweed reaction? I'm thinking to myself, bingo! How'd you guys know I was allergic to ragweed? And I wonder who's been sharing my medical records, Miss Lori Green-Burress. Anyway, okay, moving on. I said, no, it's not a ragweed allergy. What would make you say that? I said, anybody with some common sense go look around this apartment and know that there's a bug problem here. Because Jim was saying they were invisible bugs. The cops were saying they were invisible bugs. And wouldn't you know it, I end up going over to Mount Graham Hospital and they start talking about invisible bugs too. And asking me what medications I'm on as well. Oh, this story gets better by the minute. Now, Jim looks at me again with those steely blue eyes and smiles as I was getting ready to leave with the police. So how does it feel to be proven crazy? I said, oh man, I said, crazy staying here with your bug problem. I may be out of money, but I'd rather sleep in the park than sleep here. And that's exactly what I did for 3 days. Hung out in the park. Tell you that story in just a minute. Yeah, 3 days in the park, Mount Graham Hospital, the Gila Valley Temple. Oh yes, and my attorney's involved in this next section. But see, I love documentation, so these suckers just shot themselves in the foot again. Catch you in a few.